At one time. There we go. So y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. If you can let me know if you can hear me clearly. Let me know if you are seeing me clearly as well. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Share this video. I cannot say enough to share this. Tag your friends. Do the whole operation, right? Do the whole nine, because we're about to get we're about to get really real, like all the way real. Perfect. Y'all can hear me over here. Okay, great. We're talking about the covenant with fear today, because I made a post in my group. And if you're new to me, please let me know. Please drop me a comment. Let me know if this is your first time on a live stream, or if you're new to me, if you don't know me very well. If you cannot stay on, please come back and watch the replay, because I don't typically hop on the internet on Tuesdays, because Tuesdays are my long day. But I had to hop on here because I made a post in my group asking about what's holding people back, what keeps them from getting to where they need to be in their business, why they aren't here, why they aren't there, why they aren't accomplishing what they want to accomplish. And it was this resounding answer of fear. And so I'm like, man, fear. We give fear so much credit, right? And so it was this whole conversation surrounding fear. So again, if you are just tuning in, please share this video. Please tag, especially an entrepreneur. If you know entrepreneurs, please tag them, especially a Black female entrepreneur, especially single mom entrepreneurs, especially whether they're single mom, married mom, especially mompreneurs, Black female entrepreneurs, especially kingdom entrepreneurs, especially need to be tagged in this video. So make sure you tag your friends. Make sure you share. If you have a group where you help entrepreneurs, where you talk to entrepreneurs, please share this video in your group. Of course, don't share in any private groups that you don't have, admin privileges over. But we really need to talk about this. We need to go ahead and put it on a line. Let it be real clear. And we have these little quotes that we like to use. We love to quote the Bible, right? We love to say, well, God has not given me the spirit of fear, but we don't live that. So we're about to talk about that now. If I saw a couple of people say this was their first time here, hey now, my name is Felicia Kelly, and I'm a business strategist, a sales expert. Money management is kind of my jam as well. My biggest thing is sales. I like to help people manage what they have and make more money. That's what I love to do. I love to work with corporations and train their sales teams. I love to work with CEOs of small businesses and corporations and show them where they're losing money, show them where their productivity is off, and help them to fix it. So that's what I do in a nutshell. You can learn more about me at FeliciaKelly.com. You can also register for my incubator, where I'm going to be sharing my organic sales funnel. I'm going to be sharing how to turn your mediocre service into a no-brainer offer. And you can go to bit.ly/Proverbs incubator for that one-day virtual incubator. While people are coming on, drop a comment if you've ever dealt with fear in your business, or if you typically deal with fear in your purpose, work, or your business, or anything of that nature. Hey, Apostle Catherine. Hey now. Hey, Maria. Hey, Calvin. Hey, Felicia. Hey, I think it's Empowered to You. Hey now. If you have not shared this video, please share. If you know an entrepreneur, kingdom entrepreneur, businesswoman, share this video, tag them as well. My sound is going in and out. Can y'all hear me okay on Facebook? Yes, fear creeps off. Felicia said constantly. Dia said yes. Okay. Facebook, let me know if you can hear me okay. Instagram said that they can hear me excellently. So we want to make sure that you all can hear me on Facebook as well. Yes, y'all can hear me. Let me get a couple more yeses. If y'all can hear me on Facebook, drop a yes in the comments. P31 Chic said me horribly. Felicia says, I'm not afraid to run my business. I'm afraid to be my business. What do you mean by that? Yes. So y'all can hear me on Facebook. So maybe I think it's Abisola. If you can go out and come back in, because it seems like everyone else can hear me. It seems like everybody else can hear me. Okay, Felicia Marshall can hear me as well. So when it comes to fear, we give fear a whole lot of credit. A whole lot of credit. And we give place to fear. That's what I'm finding. I'm going to take these headphones out. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I've built a successful product-based business. I'm terrified of my personal brand, people finding value in me. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Facebook, without the headphones, can you hear me better? Too much credit. What do you mean? I think it's Evelette. What do you mean too much credit? Yeah, y'all can hear me better. Okay, perfect. So here's the thing, right? I'll give y'all a little bit of backstory. Earlier, last night I posted in one of my groups. I asked them what are they dealing with that is keeping them from getting to where they want to be. And multiple people said fear. Okay, got you. So today I asked who is dealing with fear. And people said me, I am. So Facebook can't hear me at all. Hold on, Instagram. Give me a second. Instagram. Let me see what's up with Facebook. Let me see what's up with Facebook. Because I brought notes and everything. Okay. So it's something going on with Facebook. So I'm going to switch platforms. I'm going to go to Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, stay right there. So I'm going to go to Instagram. Let's give Facebook a minute to hop on. Hey Tamasha. Let's give Facebook folks a minute to hop on. Because it's Facebook. I noticed that when I was trying to go live in my group, something was going on. So it's not me. That's the good thing. Yeah, so it's Facebook. Cool. No problem. I got a full battery. We're going to make it work. I'm just giving them some time to hop on over here. Because we got to talk about this thing, y'all. We really got to talk about this. Because this whole fear thing, listen. This whole fear thing, y'all, let me tell you something. I want to talk about the covenant with fear. And you might be like, well, Felicia, what do you mean the covenant with fear? What do you mean? The covenant with fear? It's a covenant, right? And let me give y'all a definition of covenant if you don't know what a covenant is. She said, we here. Hey, Jamie Keisha. I know, like, everything that's going on in the world, people have the right to be afraid. But let's be clear. Most of the people that are really dealing with a whole lot of fear and a whole lot of issue regarding fear, they were already feeling that before COVID-19. They were already feeling that before we continue to deal with the murder of innocent Black individuals. They were already dealing with fear, right? And so what you'll find is that fear gets the blame for fear gets redirected. And we're going to dive into that. But I want to give you guys the definition of covenant, because covenant is an agreement. Period. It's an agreement. Now, this says as a noun, it's an agreement, but as a verb, it's an agree by lease, deed, or other legal contract. And what you have to understand about the court system is that in a lot of places, and I'm no lawyer, right? I got lawyers on my team. That's not my expertise. I actually am a college dropout, and I'm proud to wear that badge because of all that God has done for me. But that's another topic. But what you have to understand is that as a noun, it's an agreement. As a verb, it's an agree by lease, deed, or other legal contract. So the thing about a legal contract is that there are some courts and there are some spaces that will accept a verbal contract and it will hold up in court. And so when you say things like, I'm afraid, or, well, I'm worried about this, I'm afraid that they might do this. Somebody said, well, I'm afraid they might not buy my stuff. Here's the thing about some of the stuff you're afraid of. It's going to happen. Right? It's going to happen. You're going to have fear. You're going to have some. The problem is when we come into agreement with the fear that we feel. That's where the problem comes into play. So if you have not let your friends know, we really haven't gotten started yet. If you have not let your friends know that we're about to really break this operation down, we're going to talk about the covenant with fear and how you need to make the shift and how you can make the shift out of fear. You need to send them a text. You need to share my profile with them and say, hey, sis, you need to be watching this. You need to click that little arrow at the bottom and say, hey, sis, bro, you need to be watching this. Okay. So the thing about the covenant with fear, the agreement with fear, the operating in fear is that fear is illogical and irrational. Now, here's what I mean by that. And let me go back and give y'all a disclaimer, because I know some of y'all are new to me. I will step on your toes, right? I am cool with upsetting you to the point where you block me, as long as you go and make the shift that you need to make. I'm cool with you hiring another consultant, another coach. I don't care who you hire, because I want you to make the shift. Okay. I typically save my live streams, some IGTV. I don't know. It depends on how I feel at the end. But what you got to understand is that I'm gonna step on your toes, okay? So let's go ahead and be clear. I'm not one of those patty cake kingdom people that's gonna play into your emotions. I'm not one of those patty cake kingdom people that's gonna reserve what I say so that you're not offended, and because I want more likes and more shares. I don't care about that, right? I care about growing my business. I care about seeing people win. I care about seeing people step into their purpose and walking it confidently and fully and playing full out. That's what I care about. So again, if you are new to me, my name is Felicia Kelly. I'm a business strategist and a sales expert, and I primarily help people manage the money they're making and then double and triple their income. I help people make more money in their business. I help people walk fully in what they're called to. I help people price their products for productivity and profitability instead of for affordability. Those are some of the things that I do. I also help corporations to really pull the productivity out of their team and master their leadership skills so they can build people instead of building companies. They can build people within a company instead of building companies. So that's what I do. You can learn more about me at FeliciaKelly.com. You can register for my free training at workwithfelicia.com. You can also go to, what else do I have coming up? An incubator, where I'm going to teach people how I've created an organic funnel, how I run my Facebook ads for free, and how I have turned my mediocre service into a no-brainer offer. So that's what I do. That's what I'm going to do. That's who I help. You can learn more by going to any of those places. You can get my book, Proverbs and Profit, where I talk about the 7 keys to building kingdom wealth, when you go to FeliciaKelly.com/products. So you can go to any of those spaces and find more about me, find out what I do. You can Google me, if nothing else. So, hey, Ty. Hey, sis. Hey, babe. I see my husband's on here. All right. So let's really get into this fear thing. I've given y'all time to share and tag your friends and let your people know what's going down. Now, here is the thing about fear. Again, we talked about a covenant, the covenant of fear. The covenant is an agreement. As a noun. As a verb, it's a legal contract or a deed or a lease. Now, the problem with that is that we often make a verbal commitment to fear. We speak fear out of our mouths, and then we operate in fear. And the problem is that when you make decisions from a place of fear, because fear is illogical and irrational, it forces you to make illogical and irrational decisions. You know you're called to coach. You know you're called to speak. You know you're called to write a book. You know you're called to do whatever, XYZ, start your business, grow your business, scale your business, whatever you're called to. But because you operate from a place of fear, you cannot make the decisions, the logical, rational, smart, Holy Spirit-led business decisions that you need to make in order to grow and scale, right? This is for example, there are people that I know who want to work with me. There are people who I know that have the money to do it. But because they're afraid to invest in themselves, because they don't see the value in themselves, right? When people do not invest in working with me, I'm not the problem. Because I have receipts, because I've built a business, because I'm very open and transparent with what I do, they can see the receipts. So when people are questioning me, and for those of you who get questioned and you know you have receipts and you know you're great at what you do, when people are coming to you and they need your help and they won't pull the trigger, they're the problem, not you. Not that they're bad people, not that they suck, none of that. Is the fact that if they're afraid to pull the trigger and they operate in fear, even though they know you're the coach, even though they heard God, even though they tell you all these things that they flatter you with in your DMs, but they never actually pay, is because they're afraid that they're not worth the money. All right? Now, there is nothing worse. There's nothing worse than a fearful person with an assignment. Because when you have an assignment, that means that people are affected by what you're called to do. People are affected by my business. People are affected by my speaking and my books and all the things that I'm called to do. People are affected by that. So if I was to say, oh, well, I'm afraid, oh, well, I'm not going to do it, then now people who are assigned to me are being failed because I refuse to pull the trigger. Hear me clearly. Fear is illogical and irrational. You're afraid that somebody isn't going to like what you put out. Tell me why that matters. You're afraid that people aren't going to buy your stuff. There are some people who are not. Here's the thing. What if everything you were afraid of happened? Coach Felicia says, afraid of failure, afraid of not being ready. Oh, I love that. Here's the thing. You're not going to be ready. I pull the trigger when I'm 70 to 80% ready. Can I tell you that I sell stuff before I even have the content? Why? Because I know what I'm designed to do. I know what I know. Yes, I was getting ready to talk about that. Dr. Elisa, if you're not following Dr. Elisa Lachelle Harney, you need to go to my friends list and follow her. She said the spirit of fear is an assassin. The spirit of fear. The spirit of fear. Because you have aligned, anything you align with, you take on the spirit of. So now I'm aligned with my husband in this marriage. I've taken on the spirit of being his wife. I've taken on what comes with that spiritually. I'm aligned with mothering my children. So I've taken on the spirit of a mother. Now, when you've agreed with fear, you've taken on willingly, you've taken on the spirit of fear. And so now you've gone from, I feel a little nervous about this, to now fear owns me. You are governed by whatever spirit you have taken on. So now that you've taken on the spirit of fear, now fear governs you. Now fear owns you. Now fear rules your life. This is what the covenant with fear does for you. And so I gave someone an assignment today. I said, I want you to make a list of all the things that you can't do, that you haven't been able to do. Because this person was in business when I started 4 years ago. And I think she may have been in business before me. And I have not seen movement. This is not a dig. This is an observation. This is not a judgment. This is an observation. So now, because you are governed by fear, anytime you get ready to make a move, fear gonna say, nah, don't do that. Well, if they don't like it, fear will cause you to stop in your tracks and acknowledge things that don't matter. It doesn't matter if some people don't like what I do. Guess what? Everybody don't like you. You don't even like everybody. You don't even like everybody. So why does it matter of the 10 or 50 or 100 people who are not going to like what you do? They're not designed to buy from you anyway. You're not even assigned to them. And I don't care how people who are not assigned to me feel about what I do. All right? Fear is selfish. Fear is selfish because regardless of how much positive impact you're designed to make, regardless of how much positive impact I know this decision is going to make, I'm going to be selfish enough to say, oh, well, I feel afraid, so no. Even though I know that this is going to impact my family and my children and my clients and customers or people who are assigned to me, it's going to impact me to be able to tell my story. Fear is selfish, again, illogical and irrational, because you talk about how much you love people. You talk about how much you want to help people. You talk about how much you want to do in the earth, but then you go and say, oh, well, no, I'm afraid. So then you don't do it. Fear is selfish, illogical, and irrational. You make a decision that makes no sense because you're afraid. This is how people go into debt. This is how people go and purchase things that they don't need. This is how people avoid the things that they need that makes total sense. All right? Fear governs you. Fear governs you. When you come into agreement with fear, it governs you. Whatever spirit you come into agree with, you will be governed by. The people assigned to you suffer. And here's the thing that fear does. Because you're governed by fear, many of you will seek advice from people who are nowhere near where you want to be, just because deep down you have a desire for them to tell you not to do it. You have a desire for them to say, oh, no, sis, don't do that. I wouldn't do that. You have a desire for them to say, oh, that's not going to work. So that when you quit or when you give up or when you take 2 steps and then fail, you have somebody to blame. You have somebody to blame now. Again, fear is irrational and illogical. So you go and ask people. You go and ask your uncle who ain't never had nothing about the next move you should make in your business. You go and tell your friend who didn't even care to go to school every day, barely made it through high school. has no desire, has no unction to do better in life, you go and share your dreams with them and then get mad when they crush them. But really deep down, you wanted them to say that was stupid and don't do that and that don't make sense. So that way, when you take that half a step, when you pretend to do some work, when you act like you're going to do something and you take a half a step and instead of you starting that business, you go join a network marketing company. And then when you don't make $1 million in 3 days, you mad at them. That way you could point a finger instead of looking in the mirror. This is what fear does for you. It makes no sense. 99% of the things you're afraid of have nothing to do with what you call to do. I'm afraid people won't like it. They not. I'm afraid people won't. Let me give y'all some testimony here. When I came out with my business, I barely had any support. For those of you who are looking for support, it is not the people who are not called to this vision. It's not their job to support me. My cousin's job is to be my cousin. My mom's job is to be my mom. It is not their job to see my vision. And so you go to people with no sight and you try to show them something that does not exist yet. And then you get mad at them when they don't understand. And so now that perpetuates the fear that you're already making an excuse with. And so again, you go into covenant with fear. Many of you desire for the people around you to tell you what you're doing is a bad idea. Many of you are looking for a way out. You're looking for a reason to not do it. You're looking for a reason to not invest in your business. You're looking for a reason to not succeed. Half of you are afraid of success. Half of you are afraid of the pressure that comes with success, the responsibility that comes with success. Because there's a responsibility. Many of you do not have the character necessary to become a success. So now you are able to go and say, oh, let me tell you what I think I'm going to do. And then you say, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And you're all this talking, you all this excitement. And then that friend says, I don't know, sis. I don't see it. I just can't. I don't see how you could do that. I know you don't, because you don't have this vision. A vision is planted into the heart of an individual. So no, they're not going to see it. Yeah, looking for a way out of coaching, looking for a way out of the responsibility. Let me be real clear. Those 10K months you asking for, they come with a responsibility. That 50K month you asking for, they come with a responsibility. That 100K month you asking for, it come with a responsibility. And stop letting the people lie to you and tell you the same way you manage 1,000, you manage 50,000, because it's not true. You have to be a different individual to make a $50,000 month and not squander it away than you did when you was trying to make it with 1,000 or 2. So this is why many of you will give into the fear. Many of you like your fear. You empower your fear. My apostle says some people empower their problem. Well, if fear is your problem, you have given it power. You have empowered your fear. You have taken your fear and said, okay, fear, let's go. You're going to drive. I'm going to ride. And whatever you see, just go ahead and just stop me. Because if I really become what I'm called to become, I'm going to lose some friends. If I really become what I'm called to become, family going to talk about me at Thanksgiving. I'm going to stop getting invites because they're going to say I'm too stuck up. They're going to say I'm too fancy. They're going to say I'm too this, and they can't invite me nowhere. And then you're going to have to stop inviting them places because where you go now, they can't afford to go. I'm not calling everybody to go to the Louis store with me. I'm not calling everybody to go to New York with me. I'm not calling everybody to go here and go there to take a vacation with me because frankly, they can't afford it. And it's not because I'm stuck up, but it's because I had the wherewithal to go after what I was called to and they did not. So now they don't have the funds to do what I do. This is not a judgment. It's an observation. Math is math. Some of you do not want the responsibility of footing the bill for people you know you're going to have to foot the bill for because you don't have the confidence to say no. This is why you allow fear to stop you from what's happening for you next. Because you know if you get a bag, mama going to ask for something. You know you get a bag, daddy and your brothers and your sisters, they're going to all ask for something because you don't have no boundaries. Because you don't have the character of a successful individual, because successful individuals have boundaries. And so because you don't have the boundaries to say no, because you don't have the boundaries to say, y'all can't just come over here and do this. No, I can't hire you because you irresponsible. No, I'm not going to write you checks to go and buy the shoes that you want to buy and the cars that you want to buy and you don't want to take care of your business. No, I'm not going to do that. And so because you don't have the ability to say no and set those boundaries, you allow fear to operate for you. You allow not going after what's next to operate for you. Because you don't have the wherewithal of the character for somebody to set boundaries. Fear is multifaceted, y'all. Fear is multifaceted, and we treat fear like it's this one little thing that operates like it's just that thing. Fear is not one dimensional. Fear is like a prism. Fear is like a prism and has all these different angles. And when you put it in the right light, it reflects on everything that you're doing. So now, rather than you just being afraid to start that business, being afraid to invest in that coach or that consultant or that program, being afraid to scale. See, you was cool with making $8,000 a month. Because, you know, that one successful person in your family make $5,000 a month. You doing better than them, and you doing better than all the people around you. So you good. But when God say, okay, it's time to go higher, you like, nah. So fear start reflecting in everything that you're doing. So now, because you don't have the money and you don't have the ability to get in the rooms with the people that are doing that type of thing. So now fear is affecting your relationships. Fear is affecting your network. Fear is affecting your circle. And those of you who are parents and you have children, fear is reflecting on your children because they see you afraid. And because children can see and their spirit can sense a lot more than we give them credit for, now they operate in fear. So again, fear is reflecting on all these other things because fear is a prism. It is not one dimensional. But what y'all not afraid of is looking the part. Y'all will go and get all the photo shoots in the world. Y'all will go buy an office downtown that you don't need and get overhead that you ain't got to have just so you can look the part. But deep down, you afraid of what really come with being the part. My office is in my house. My office is in my living room. I waited until I made money and I had plenty of cash flow before I got cute for anybody. But y'all will look the part. Y'all will go and get the photo shoot. Y'all will go and get the pictures. Y'all will go and get the face beat. I do my own makeup. Y'all will go and get the face beat. I'm not telling you not to invest in the aesthetics of a brand, because some of y'all think branding is just aesthetics. I'm not telling you not to invest in the aesthetics of your brand. I'm telling you to make wise decisions. But some of you go and look the part because you truly are afraid. Oh, well, they're not going to like me like this, so let me go and look like such and such. They're not going to like me like this, so let me go and watch this person and let me go and watch and see what they doing. Okay, so I see she got the pillow, my favorite one, and let me go and take a picture. Let me go rent a Airbnb with money that I'm not making in my business, but let me go and take money out of my personal money and go rent an Airbnb so I can get the cute coffee cup picture with my shoes off on the couch, and I can look like Rachel Hollis, and I can look like Amy Porterfield, and I can look like Lisa Nichols, and I can look like all these people who got their bag. And then once you go and look like them, you refuse to raise your prices because remember, we look good on the outside, but we don't value ourselves on the inside. We're afraid of what our value really is. So we won't go and charge the prices we need to price to afford to look the part we're trying to be. To afford to be the part we're trying to look. This is what fear does to you. That's why fear is irrational and illogical. Because you're afraid that they're not going to like you. Because you're afraid that they're not going to buy your stuff. You're going out and making all these irrational and illogical decisions. Like looking the part that you're not. I'm not telling you to show up raggedy. I'm telling you not to show up raggedy. But I'm telling you to show up authentically. I'm telling you, if you're not making money in your business, to find out how. Stop listening to these coaches that can't help you. Stop listening to these coaches that ain't got no receipts. My husband said something, so I got to stop and read it, y'all. Trying so hard to look the part that you miss the process. So when you actually get there, you don't know what to do with it. This is why I married this man. Trying so hard to look the part, have no process. And then when you actually get a client, because anybody can trip and fall over a sale. Now when you actually get a client, you can barely coach them. And if you do coach them well, you don't know how to establish a process. You don't know how to establish an order. Because now you don't know what your standard operating procedures are. Now you don't have systems and processes in place to facilitate your business. Now you still operate in fear. So you don't have the wherewithal to hire some help. Because you're afraid that people are gonna take your business. Can't nobody take nothing you assigned to. And then the money that you did make, the little money that you did charge, because really you still afraid to charge your actual prices. Then you squander that away because it really wasn't no money. I always ask God about being the part and not looking the part. Yeah. I waited till I made money to start looking. I wanted to look like what I was, not what I wanted to be. Now you dress like where you're going, but you show up as what you are. I show up as what I am. I'm not telling people I'm coaching them to multi-million dollars because I ain't made multi-million dollars. I've done millions of dollars in revenue in corporate, but I haven't made millions in my business yet. But I'm tracking it. I don't have to lie. You ain't got to lie to kick it. That's what they used to say in the 90s when I was growing up. You ain't got to lie. But for the most part, a lot of you are lying to yourself. And the foundation is fear. The foundation is the covenant that you've made with fear. Because fear is your governance. You are being governed by fear. This is why some of you can do all the praying in the world, but you can't do nothing the Lord say. Fear. You can pray and cry and lay out, fall all over the place, but you can't operate. You can't obey because you're being governed by fear. It sound good in the closet. The prophecy sound good. But when it come with the action that you're required to take, Hebrews 11:1, first it tells you not just what fear is, but how fear works. But then by faith, action. By faith, action. By faith, action. Hebrews chapter 11 shows you how fear works, how faith works. Excuse me, faith, not fear. But we read that and we love to say faith is the evidence of things not seen. Now faith. We love to say that. But we don't do it. The only way to break fear is action. The only way to break fear is to 1, renounce the agreement, and 2, take action. Faith is an action word. Faith moves before it multiplies. See, you want God to multiply something you ain't planning. You want God to multiply something you ain't took no action on. How is he going to bring you relationships and you ain't left out the house? God is not a concierge service. We want heaven to be a concierge and just bring us what we want. We won't be able to dial down the room for it. This is how some of y'all pray. Y'all ask God for all the stuff y'all want, and then y'all expect room service to bring it up to you. God is not the Marriott. Heaven is not the Marriott. Heaven is not the Four Seasons. You have to go down there and get it. This is what a lot of us miss. We like the fun part. We like that feeling. We like that being washed with the Holy Spirit. Now I ain't gonna lie. Being in God's presence is amazing. It is amazing to go up in the spirit. I don't know what level everybody's on in their faith. That's not my I don't judge that. That's nothing for me. But yes, it's an amazing feeling. But what do you do after that? What you do when you come back down to earth? What you do after that? Yes, faith moves before it multiplies. God is not a concierge service. We want to ring up heaven. We want to dial 0. We want to ring up heaven and we want to place our order. And then when it ain't there in 20 minutes, we want to call back down there and ask where our order at. I ordered this 20 minutes ago. It's not how it works. You have to go down there and get it. It's not DoorDash. It's not Grubhub. It's not none of that. And here's the interesting part. When it does show up after you've done the work, the process is not going to look like you wanted it to look. It's not. Y'all got to go out here and get to work. Many of y'all don't like to work. Many people don't like to work. Many of y'all don't like to work. You don't want to stay up late. You don't want to get up early. You don't want to. And then when you do, it's like, oh, I did a little bit today. Oh, I had to overcome something unexpected today. So it's really, and then you want to go and celebrate. For what? You ain't done nothing. Yeah, they want to get Jesus on the main line to deliver their blessings via DoorDash. It's not how this works. You're going to have to get out here and go to work. You're going to have to show up. I had people come to me. Look, let me be honest and tell y'all, there are some testimonials I have that I won't use because they don't operate well. They want quick money. But the frustrating part is that when I tell them they got a live stream, well, I don't want to do that. Okay. Anybody that comes to me telling me what they don't want to do, okay, don't do it. It's not my issue. You came to me. You come to me because you see me winning. You come to me because you see my clients winning. You come to me because you see what we do works. But then when I tell you what to do, you say you don't want to do that? Okay. God bless you and keep you is my prayer. That's your business. You are going to do whatever you want to do or not do whatever you don't want to do. That's fine. Some of us treat God the same way. You go and pray. The Lord give you on instruction. You crying in prayer. You just writing, crying, writing the words down because you so far in heaven, you don't even know what you're writing. And then you go back and read it and you see the work that's involved. And you say, well, I don't want to do that. That's why you are where you are. Stagnation is a dishonor to God. We want all these blessings. We want all these miracles for stuff that we can do ourselves. This is fear. The foundation is fear. Only a person that's afraid will stay stagnant. Only a person that has made covenant with fear will stay stagnant. You haven't moved since 2014. You've been talking the same talk since 2015, 2016, and you have not moved. You have not done anything. You've done nothing but run your mouth and talk about what you gonna do. You ain't done nothing but make vision boards. You ain't done nothing but look at houses on Zillow. Ain't paid off a debt yet. You ain't done nothing but scroll on all the people that's verified Instagram. You ain't done nothing but look at all the shows you want to be on. Ain't done one live stream. You want to go be on the Talk and the View and all these shows and you ain't done a single live stream. What you gonna say when you get there? Fear. Nobody is calling the fearful people. Nobody's writing checks to the fearful people. I'm not hiring nobody that's scared. Oh, I got a vision board too. But I work for what I'm asking for. I'm cool with the process. No, it does not feel good all the time. I'm not here to say every day is easy. But I am here to say that I'm going to do what I have to do. I am going to operate in integrity. I am going to work. I am going to follow the process. I am going to do what I need to do. I am going to invest money that I may not get back. Here's the thing about investing. Here, let me use myself as an example because I'll talk about me. If you invest to work with me, it's not my job to get you there. This is why you got to stop running with coaches that promise you results. I can't get you no results. You got to go get them. I can tell you what to do. I can give you a strategy. I can build out a strategy with no problem. I'm anointed for what I do. That's not my words. That's the words of my clients. That's the words of my prophets I'm around. That's the words of people I know that hear God and can see what's on me. All I can do is tell you what to do. No, I don't hire nobody scared. Why do I trust the work I've done in my business but can't apply it to the brand with my name on it? Because you're scared of judgment? Because, you know, when you put your face out there, people not going to like you. Some people going to think you ugly. Some people going to think you dumb. Some people not going to like you because you black. Some people not going to like you because you white. Some people not going to like you because you a woman. Some people not going to, make a list. Some people not going to like me because I got dreads. I don't care. The people that don't like me don't write checks. Where the checks at? That's who I'm worried about. My business focus on where the check's at. The people that's assigned to me. Who is assigned to me? You're going to get some attacks. And here's the thing. Hell hates progression. Hell hates kingdom progression. Hell hates for you to break the curse of poverty on your family. Hell hates for you to be able to put your kids in the best schools. Hell hates for you to not depend on the world's systems. So as soon as an oppressed people are able to come off of systematic oppression, systematically designed depression, systematic systems and that hold them back, when you're able to overcome that, yes, attacks are going to come. Attacks don't come to uncalled people. Attacks ain't coming if you ain't called. Attacks ain't coming if you're not anointed and ordained for what you do. Only called people get attacked. So I'm cool with it. But here's the thing. I'm attacking hell too. I'm not in fear of my business. I fear the people I do business with. Help me with that. I'm not quite sure what you mean by you fear the people you do business with. Yeah, hell hates progression. So in that case, I'm going to progress. What I'm not going to do is be stagnant. Stagnation is just you living in limbo until you die. I'm not going to make the same money. I know that my family lives a long time. My husband's family lives for a long time. And I know what God promised. And the unsaved in my family live a long time. So I know I'm going to be here for what, I'm 32, 70 more years or so. I am not going to make the same money, do the same thing. I'm not going to live the same year over and over for 80 years. I could have gone a long time ago. What is the point of being here if you're going to live the same year over and over for 80 years? Progression and stagnation is completely opposite of God. It doesn't even look like God. You don't even reflect God being stagnant. And for those of you who are waiting on the Lord, read the Bible in context. That scripture means that you're trusting. You have to understand the context of the time. You have to understand what language they're speaking in. You have to understand who is translating for God in that moment. You have to understand the customs of that time, the customary language. And wait in that scripture means trust, not sit around until something happens. If you study your Bible, God always blesses movement. God multiplies movement. Anything multiplied by 0 cancels itself out. Anything multiplied by 1 is only going to render itself. So what does your seed look like? What does the seed of your action look like? What does your financial seed look like? Because if you still investing in $47 courses, you either on the wrong live stream or you about to get delivered. You want to invest $47 and then you got 100,000 written on your vision board. You want to make $1 million, but you got $1 million on your vision board, but you won't invest in nothing other than a 197 class. How you getting there? Again, God is not a concierge service. See, we want to do a little bit. We want to put these little seeds in the ground, and then we want God to do all the tilling and all the toil and all the sweat, and then we want him to just multiply times 1,000-fold. God, multiply my $20 seed that I've been sowing since 2005 1,000-fold. God. Your seed ain't changed. Your language ain't changed. Your audience ain't changed. Your circle ain't changed. There is a common problem. And it seems like if that's your story, it's you. Fear is irrational. All of this, the foundation of all of this is fear. This is what happens to fearful people. Ain't nobody I'm not hiring nobody that's afraid. I hired somebody that was afraid for one thing in my business, and it almost cost me everything. And I will never do it again. I need people that think bigger than me. I need people that can see my blind spots. I need people that can say, hey, Felicia, that's a good idea, but here's how we do it better. Many of us can't see an opportunity if it slapped us in the face because it got a dollar sign on it. And we don't like when it looks like work, and we don't like when it looks like money. Especially kingdom people. This is why people try to tell me that I couldn't help kingdom people. Church folks don't pay. Oh, they're going to. They're going to want you to do it for free. Okay. Yeah, here we are. So I challenge you. Operate from a place of logic. Like, God is not going to fail you in an assignment he gave you. The only way to fail an assignment God gave you is to fail yourself. For those of you who are ready to grow, who are ready to scale, I do have an incubator coming up. You can go to bit.ly/Proverbs incubator. The link is in my bio on Instagram. Yeah, my clients paid too. I did 23,000 in sales Saturday or Monday, sometime in the past 72 hours. I mean, it's not really you'll get to a point where the money really don't matter. Either the people are going to buy or they're not. Either the people going to pay or they're not. My course is $19.97. That's how much it costs. You've got to get to a point where money does not just put fear in your heart. People that struggle with dealing with money, foundation is fear. The foundation of poverty mindset is fear. This is why some of your grandparents and some of your parents and some of your siblings look at you because they see you investing in yourself. Oh, I wouldn't pay that. I saw a post earlier today, and I've actually had this conversation with a person. Somebody said they made $300,000 last month, and somebody else said, oh my God, I wouldn't want to pay the taxes on that. And then the person said, so you're telling me you wouldn't want to make $300,000 in a month? I've had this conversation. This is why you have to be careful about who you talk with about your goals. You mess around and talk about your vision to the wrong person and your business to the wrong person, you're going to leave upset. I had to stop answering certain phone calls because I noticed that when I hung up the phone every time, I was pissed off. You haven't done anything. You haven't made any moves and you want to advise me. You can stop get these people out of your ear, get these people out of your space, get these people out of your circle. That does not mean that you do not love people. That doesn't mean that if your cousin that you've been hanging out with every day since y'all wearing diapers, that just because you can't talk to them on a daily no more does not mean that you don't love them. Some people are left behind because they choose to be. Some people are left behind. It's not that you're leaving them behind, it's that you're moving forward and they're not. Some people aren't being left behind, they're staying behind. Anybody that's around me, if you get left behind, it's because you stayed behind, not because I left, because I'm constantly moving forward. And if you choose to be stagnant, that is your personal choice. Yeah, the Holy Spirit will tell me when to back away from somebody. I'm not going to let you grieve me. I'm not going to let you upset me. I'm not going to let you get me to where I can't be productive. This is why I don't watch the news. I can find out what I need to know. But be careful about what you're taking into your ear all the time. If you think making 10K some money, it is, until you realize, oh, wait, I got to hire people. You start counting on your fingers. You're like, oh, okay, I need to make more than this. Shift around the wrong people. There are some people who are going to celebrate you up until a certain point. There are some people who you're going to start with. This conversation is not just for the people that's around negative people. There are some of you who are around very positive people, who are around really dope people. But once you get to a certain space, they're not going to be able to go any further. And so you're going to have to decide, do I move on or do I stay right here with them? There are some people who cool as long as you don't make more than 25K a month. If you want to start talking about making 6 figures a month, I don't know. We might have to stay right here, and it might be time to shift your circle again. That does not mean that you don't love those people. That does not mean you don't honor them for starting with you. There are people that I started with when our goal was to get to 5K a month in our business. We were rocking hard. When I moved from 5K to 10K, we was rocking hard. But when I went to 25, 30, 40K a month, they weren't ready to have that conversation. And so now they're looking at me like, oh, one of my favorite lines from my favorite movie, The Founder, is when his wife says, when is it going to be enough for you? And he says, never. My assignment is too big for it to be enough. My assignment is too big for me to say, okay, we'll stop right here. I'm not stopping right here. I'm not stopping nowhere. God gonna have to call me to the house. I noticed when I started telling and showing people what I made a month, the communication slowed down and completely stopped because they don't know how to respond to that. You tell somebody to make $60,000 a year that you made $60,000 last month, what they gonna say? That conversation is literally above their pay grade. That doesn't make them bad people. That doesn't make them purposeless people. They start counting your money or comparing and feeling some type of way. Yeah, it goes both ways. Counting people's pockets goes both ways. Just like when it was first time for me to raise my prices, I was like, I don't know if people can afford that. Other people's money is not my business until they hire me. And then the people that looked at me crazy for making the type of money that I make, that's not their conversation. They can't count my pockets. I can't count theirs. So this is why we have, again, fear. The foundation of this is fear. My response will be, teach me. Everybody don't have that thought process. Again, remember, it makes sense for an individual to want to learn more. But because people are bound in fear, because people are bound in what other people think and have people bondage, they're not able to ask the question. They don't have what it takes. Everybody doesn't have what it takes. This is a good question. If you can't afford coaches and courses just yet, is it not time to launch a business yet? No. The answer to that is no. Let me tell you this. There are some of us, and everybody doesn't have this, but if you're going to launch a business, you better have a heck of a find a way spirit. You better be a find a way individual, because you're going to have to find a way to stay up late after your 9 to 5. You're going to have to find a way to keep working after them kids been running around driving you crazy all day. You have to find a way to keep going when you don't have no energy. You're going to have to find the money for that course. You're going to have to find a way. The craziest thing is to see people that know how to do what you want to do and not find a way to find out how they're doing it. I'm not telling you to funnel hack. I'm telling you, if the only space you can invest in right now is a $47 course, take that $47, find out how to turn it into $400. Take that $400, find a way to turn it into $1,500. Take that $1,500, find a way to turn it into $4,000. Take that $4,000 and find a way to turn it into $15,000. You're gonna have to invest somewhere. It is so easy for us to say, and let me be clear, your investment will always come from a place of sacrifice. It will always come for a place of sacrifice. I bumped my head against the wall for 18 months, knowing full well that I didn't know what I was doing. I bought a $47 course here, a $47 course there. And I said, maybe I should raise my prices a little bit. You're going to invest time, money, or both. Most of the time it's both. You're going to invest from a sacrificial place. If you want to make $1 million, you're not going to have $1 million to put towards it. If you did, you would need it to invest in that. I know that might not be what you want to hear, but the reason all of us who have gotten to where we are in our business say that is because it's true. I sacrificed for a minute. We don't like the word sacrifice. We don't like the word investment. A pastor I know who's a business coach, he said kingdom people love to sow, but they hate to invest. That's because when we sow a seed, we cool with it being sacrificial because we're looking for God in heaven to blow on it and turn it into 100-fold. Turn it into 1,000-fold. The Lord is going to bless you. So you go stand in that line, which is not even biblical, but that's not what this live stream is for. And so you cool with sowing, but when it comes time to invest, you ain't got it. I used to be scared of losses too. And I said, if I can sit in this company, because I've been in sales all my life, if I can sit in this company and sell these $7,000 and $8,000 services, why I can't sell it for myself? I started talking about investments like I talk about my tithes. It's a requirement. I became a cheerful giver into my investments. Yes. I'm cool with sowing. I will tithe and sow any day of the week. You're not going to outgive me. Right? But when it comes to investing, a lot of people don't want to hear that. See, we like for the conditions to be comfortable. We want to make sure that we have the money, that we have the time, that we have the inner, all of the pieces are in place. When has that ever, what book, who would buy that book? We don't buy a book that says everything went perfectly and then I was successful. You don't buy that book. You don't watch that movie. You don't read that story. But our own story, a lot of times we want that to be a cakewalk. We want to make sure, oh, okay, let me find the coach that's going to help me. And let me make sure they're exactly in my budget. And let me make sure I have no fear. Let me make sure that they have this. And let me make sure that it's only going to take me an hour a week because I'm really busy. I'm busy too. I'm busy today. I got a mastermind with my clients in an hour. Yet here I am. God has got a strategy, and investments are a part of that strategy. Here's the thing. God was the first investor. Let me help you. Genesis 1. God making the land and the sea and the fowl and the beasts and the birds. He making all that for people he hadn't created yet. Then he created the people. And then he knew they was going to sin. He went in taking an L. He already knew what it was. He was the first investor. And so if you said you're made in his image, but you don't want to invest in nothing, makes no sense. It makes no sense. So we have to shift how we operate. We have to stop settling. Just because you make more than everybody around you does not mean you're doing well. If you're making $10K a month and you're supposed to make $100 a month, did you really succeed? Fear. Y'all got to break these covenants with fear. Y'all got to break these covenants with fear. You got to break these covenants with fear, these verbal agreements. Yeah, me too. I tell everyone that invests in me, I'm good soil. I know I'm good ground. I know I am. I I used to question that. For those of you who question your value, who made you? We will sit here and lie to ourselves. We're kingdom people that will lie to ourselves. We will say that we don't feel valuable. We'll say we don't think we this and we don't think we that. And it's a dishonor to the God that made you in his image. So if you made in his image, what you're really saying is God is not valued. God is not worth it. God is not worth investing in. God is not. Why? Because you made in his image. So I challenge you to rethink that. Come out of agreement with that. I hope this helped y'all. Again, you can register for the incubator, bit.ly/Proverbs incubator. The link is in my bio. Yeah, so if you question your value, you question God's too. Right? It's like, let me go reread my Bible. That's cool. Hey, cousin. Hey, friend. But yeah, I'm good ground. God made me. Not only did God make me, he trusted me with an assignment. Like everybody, many are called, few are chosen. We love to quote that, but think about that. I was selected for an assignment. You know how many people God created? And he selected me out of the current, what is it, 7.5 billion now? I got a whole assignment. And he gonna let the people give me money so that my household is sustained. So that my kids and my daughter, especially because she's a young lady, because my daughter is not going to be easily impressed by a man pulling up in a Benz. She been riding in leather her whole life. My son been riding in leather his whole life. He not going to be able to be scammed and schemed by somebody saying, hey, you can make some money. They're going to know how to make money. Thank God. See, the thing is, this is why you got to release the covenant with fear, because there are so many things that you getting put on, you making money, you becoming what you're called to be. There are so many people affected by it. So do I have to deal with people like I dealt with today that told me I was money hungry and the love of money is the root of all evil and I was going to hell? Yeah, I got to deal with that. I got to deal with people that's projecting. I got to deal with that. So I saw somebody say something about one-on-one. So my one-on-ones, this is another reason I'm not afraid of my prices, because I know what it is. I'm going to tell them anyway. Oh, God, I'm going to say something about that. My one-on-one, I offer a strategic planning day. It's a 4-hour session. It's $59.97. And it's probably going to go up again, probably in August, because the more testimonials I get, the higher my prices go. My mastermind is $15K. I think 1 or 2 of my mastermind clients up here. But here's the thing. This is why this is why most people say, oh, DM me. You ain't got to DM me. I will tell you my price right now. I will tell you that I'm probably going to raise prices again August 1. That's where I'm at. Like, this is why people do that, because they're afraid, because they don't think they have the value to say, oh, yeah, my half day is $6K. It's virtual. Because I know what you're getting. And I got receipts. My client is my client, and some people just aren't my client, period. And here's the thing. I'm okay with every other business coach getting clients. I'm okay with them making money. I'm cool with that. I want them to make money. I would love for us all business owners at some point that's all making over 50K a month to sit down and say, hey, let's just chat, not about work, but let's just chat about life. And there wouldn't really be any competition. I'm not worried about that. I don't compete with no woman. I compete with what Felicia did yesterday. Oh, thank you. Emily's on here. She's in my mastermind. I'm going to see her in about an hour. So I shared that to say, do what you call to do. Renounce fear. Literally say the words, I renounce fear out of my life. I renounce every word curse that has been spoken over me. I step out of agreement with every negative word that has been spoken over my life in Jesus' name. Like, you got to stand in that authority. And then you say, I step into agreement with everything God said about me. I step into covenant with what God's word says about me. And God, I ask you to show me. Show me in your word and help me to not just take it in and read it, but take it into my heart. Take it into my heart. So that way I can really honor what you've called me to be. Yeah, we ain't got to compete. I want us all to make money. Somebody said they need the master. If you need the mastermind, I will tell you to send me a DM, because we don't take everybody. We don't. And that's not to be offensive. That's because, listen, you got to do the work. I can give you all the strategy in the world. You got to do the work. Because when we come on these Tuesdays, I'll be like, where you at? Right? And it's $15K. It is. You do 15K or 3 payments of 5,500. If you want to do the mastermind, send me a DM and I'll talk to Julie. We'll chat with you a bit and see, if it's a good fit, and we'll do that. So I appreciate y'all. I hope this helped. Share this with your friends. I'm going to save this. I'm going to see if I can post it to Facebook. And I'll make sure this one stays on IGTV because this was good, y'all. But otherwise, I will see y'all later. Bye now.